The season for The Real Housewives of Atlanta might be almost over, but that isn't stopping the ladies from shading each other. Marlo, in her recent after show, shades Kandi and Kenya again in regards to how they make their money, and she reveals how she makes her money. And it seems like Kenya has a response. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So tonight is part 2 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we will be watching it together along with Married to Medicine on our TikTok watch party. So be sure to follow me on TikTok if you haven't already. But as you also know, there's been a lot of back and forth, and it seems like part 2, we're going to see a lot of this between Marlo Hampton and Kenya Moore. So during a recent after show, Marlo reveals how she makes her money.
I get my money the same place these girls get theirs, from this platform, from all of my jobs, my businesses, from posting on Instagram, from walking in the room for an hour, okay? And of course, I don't date broke. I would never disown that, okay? But where you get your money from, that's like asking Kenya, where did she get her money from? She didn't own a home until she got on this platform. She was renting, okay? You don't know this. Kenya, in the beginning, with Kenya Moore haircut, had water in her bottles, okay? Water in the bottles? Yes, it was water in the bottles. I mean, just think about it. Where does Kenya get her money from? What does Kenya do? Tell me, what movie has she ever been in that grossed $1 million? Tell me whatever movie she's been that she was the star of. And let's be clear, let me go back to the camera. Kandi, we all know her from Escape, always had money, childhood star. But guess what? Things changed when she got on this platform. House change, income change, jobs change. Stop it where I get my money. For here 10 years, doors have opened for me like no other. And I get money right now talking to you, okay? It's like, stop where I get the money from. Yeah. I don't date broke. I'm not dating guys I have to take care of, that they wear the rings and I don't wear the rings. I'm not dating guys where I get married to them and then they divorce me and want my money. Ooh, I'm not doing this. Shots fired. No, it's not.
So a lot of you in the comment section are saying, Marlo, if that's how you've made your money, how did you make your money before you got on the show? Because when you came on the show, you made it seem like you were living this fabulous life. But for me, it was the shading of Kenya and Kandi in that moment. Yes, they've been asking the questions this season, but the entire audience and the entire past and present cast have been asking, how does Marlo make her money exactly? And shout out to Marlo. We give credit where credit's due. She just landed a new job with Netflix and RHOA. She's going to be doing a project for them. Congrats. But Marlo, why was the need? Why was the need to shade Kenya and Kandi in this situation? Look, Kandi's songwriting money is long, and even after the show, she'll continue to make money off of this. But speaking of Kandi, Kandi did confirm recently that she has been asked back for season 15, and not only has she been asked back, she must have signed on the dotted line for her to announce that she will be returning for season 15 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
The season before, did you not see me back last season, season 14? And guess what, honey? I know. You will see me back for season 15. Yes. We're starting again soon. So get sick of me. You're going to be sick of me.
And I can already hear you guys saying, oh, no. Well, word on the street is that all the ladies have been asked back. We shall see. Although you're being asked back doesn't mean that you're going to actually return. It all means if you're going to sign on the dotted line. Well, Kandi's confirming that she will be returning, and that makes her the longest running housewife in the franchise. And some of you are like, what about Kyle Richards? There's only been 12 seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But the shade of Kenya and how Kenya has made her money. Look, here's the thing. If you don't know history, if you don't know someone's story, if someone hasn't shared their personal business with you, you would take what Marlo says with, oh, I didn't know that about Kenya. Well, Kenya, during her recent interview with Melissa Gorga, seemingly responds to Marlo's shade. Probably because they see these episodes in advance. We see them at a certain point, but they see these after shows and episodes before we do. And she makes it very clear that she was a millionaire at a very young age and owned a home in California before she did here in Atlanta.
Really are self-made, which much respect for that. Honestly, Kendra, you really are.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm 100% self-made. I've never needed a man's money when I bought my first house. before I was 30 years old in California that I kept for 16 years, never defaulted on a payment. I was all, I won Miss USA. I was a millionaire when at 22. Back then it was like the prizes, the money, all the things that you got. I was instantly a millionaire at 22 years old. My net worth was well over $1 million. So, and before that, I was, people don't know this, but I was a corporation at 17.
That's crazy.
I just had advisors around me. I was a model. And so I started to do a lot of work and make a lot of money. And they just took me under their wings and said, this is how you should operate. You are a corporation. You need to be a loan out. You need to manage your money this way and that way. And so I just learned from really successful, wealthy people on how to basically build your own wealth. I never talk about money. I don't believe in like giant logos everywhere. I mean, I can buy a designer thing if I want to, but I don't live for it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just kind of a little different. I really want to know that my daughter and myself will be okay. Yes, I will splurge every now and then.
Yes,
But
you will.
of course. I mean, I'll buy something that's like, okay, I have to have that Chanel bag or I have to do that. But it's not like I live for it. You know what I mean? I'm wearing Target. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Look, I don't know. I don't know if I'm unlike the rest of the audience. I don't really care what Marlo does. As long as whatever she's doing, it's legal, it doesn't matter to me how Marlo's making her money. She wouldn't be the first woman to have money from the people that she's dated. However, the fact that she continues not to be able to show us how she makes her money makes me think that it might not be the most favorable way of making money. I don't know. But at the same time, at this point, do we really care? What we care more about is that Marlo doesn't bring it as a housewife. She didn't bring it this season. Some people will argue, yes, she did. She got people activated, blah, blah, blah. No. And this whole conversation that by the end of the season, we felt a sisterhood amongst the ladies. I didn't feel a sisterhood. Anyone else? I was waiting for the sisterhood. Maybe based off what they filmed, they felt like there was a sisterhood by the end of the season, but the edited version doesn't tell the same story. That could be it. But I didn't feel a sisterhood amongst the ladies. If anything, I felt more of a separation. I didn't feel like Drew and Sheree really made peace, even though Sheree did show up to help support her. She had the surgery. But I didn't see Kenya and Marlo find a common ground. Kandi and Marlo, I feel like, yeah, they made peace over KFC, but I don't think Kandi sees it for Marlo ever or ever will. And Drew and Sonya, they definitely don't see it for each other. But the fact that these Marlo and Kenya are responding, it really shows us a little bit more about who Marlo really is and that Kenya used to be that girl. I know a lot of people may not remember it, but not did she just win Miss USA. After that, we saw Kenya Moore a lot in the 90s from acting gigs. And then she went on to do other projects that she produced herself. And look, the fact that she was producing and funding projects herself, that independent money, she was doing independent before independent is what it is today. So I wouldn't be surprised that Kenya is good with her money and made quite a coin from those independent films. But I'm not Team Twirl, but all of you will call me that, and then you'll say I've been paid by Kenya. Run me my check, Kenya and Kandi. I kid. Guys, it is part 2 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta tonight. I want to know your reaction to Marlo's shade towards Kenya and Kandi and how she makes her money, and Kenya seemingly responding. Let's continue that conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.